Hello there, welcome back to the JustBeCos podcast, a podcast featuring all things cosplay.
This cosplay podcast features me, Mangle Phantom, and also
Marmalade.
we are two cosplayers from Australia, and we're going to be representing the country in the World Cosplay Summit this year.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
excited.
You excited?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm very excited because we got drinks.
We do, and these
I'm
ones
so
are cold.
thirsty. They are
These
nice
are
and cold.
I've got a Teasel sparkling 0 calories lemon drink because my body is a temple.
Nice.
What do you get?
Wait, temple?
No,
Oh,
no.
Teasel.
It's a Teasel
I thought it
because
was
my
a
body's
temple
a temple.
sparkling,
No,
but I like that.
No.
I got a Coca Palm coconut yogurt whip thing, and it looks
it kind of
really good.
suits your aesthetic
Thank
today
you.
as well.
It looks like summery and
cool.
yummy. I saw the packaging. I was like, yeah, that one.
We're gonna do
Locked
it.
eyes
We're
with
gonna do
it.
it.
Yeah.
And today we're cosplaying again,
Yeah.
but it's slightly easier because last time it was a little bit,
uncomfortable.
So we're like, you know what? If we're gonna cosplay, we're gonna make it super simple.
Yes.
Or we're gonna wear part of the cosplay. It's
Part.
like you kind of understand. Hey, yeah, I'm wearing that character. We don't need the whole thing.
Yeah.
God, even now this jacket's too hot for summer.
Is it? You suffering?
Oh, a little bit. How are you?
Okay,
How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm
Feel
fine.
good?
This hoodie's so thin.
This is a little bit thick. It's got
Oh,
lining in it.
nice. No, it's fine. You can put it
lining.
on. Yeah, you can put it
Lining.
over your
there
shoulders.
There we go.
Nice.
It's still
nice.
hot. Anyway.
Got the guns out.
Oof.
Sun's out, guns out.
We're doing this for we're working out for WCS.
Hell yeah.
Because
We
we're
are.
I gotta lift up Lewis, and
He's a heavy
heavy.
weight to carry.
I actually because after the comp, I talked to my friend who was a physio. I don't know if I told you the
yeah,
story.
you told me.
And they was like, yeah, it's gonna be sore. That's normal. Just best way to mitigate that is just get strong.
Mitigate?
Just
I thought it was mitigate.
mitigate. You might be right.
Is it?
I've gotten a few pronunciations
Okay.
incorrect lately, so mitigate.
Mitigate.
Mitigate that is just work out, just get bigger.
Get
so I'm like,
strong. Lift
that's
weights,
it, that's
Jerry.
it.
That's
I'm doing it.
That's
I'm doing it.
What is today's
What is today's
podcast
topic? So we're actually talking about last time. What did we do last time?
Last time we did lessons that cosplay teaches you that you can't learn or don't learn in school or uni.
So we says let's gonna follow that up slightly, and we're gonna go. This right now is the best time in history to be a cosplayer.
Except I disagree.
You disagree. Here we go.
I
We're going to have a little bit
disagree.
of banter. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay,
It's
so
like the debate. We're going back to
the
school.
debate.
We're in the debate team.
Debate team.
I was never cool enough to be in the debate club.
Only the cool kids like me
Only the really
were allowed in the
smart
debate
kids
club.
were in the debate club.
Well, why would you disagree? Let's just put a very broad, general, simple one or two sentences.
I have
why
reasons.
would you disagree? Yeah.
I feel that not now, but we've just missed the best
Just missed
golden
it.
era
The golden
to be a
era.
cosplayer. I believe was around the period of 2014-13
Okay.
to 2018. I believe that was the golden era
Era?
to be a cosplayer.
Yeah. What made that era superior to now?
I have a few backing arguments.
Backing
statements.
arguments?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. What was your one-liner for why right now?
Right now.
Right now is the golden era of cosplay,
To
you
me,
believe?
yeah, okay. Well, I think the golden era continues. You might be like, wow, that was the crowning glory. Like, to be fair, in that era, like between 2014, 18, whatever it was, I was doing more cosplay than I was ever doing in my life, right?
Exactly.
Now I'm doing less. Like, I'm doing 3 costumes a year if
Yeah.
I'm lucky,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I still reckon now. My reason being is because of a couple of different reasons, but mostly I'll shorten it very down to accessibility, right?
I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah, accessibility, the size in which the community has grown to, in which there's basically just more people involved in it, and number 3, the extent of which you can access everything in terms of both learning resources and the internet for social
Isn't that
media
accessibility though?
purposes.
That's the same thing.
Okay, we'll take it
That's
back
the same
to just,
argument.
let's say, social media
Okay.
presence is a lot bigger
Yeah.
and it's more possible now than it, say, was then, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's my kind
What do you mean it's more possible?
Well, when I say that, I'm
What's more
saying...
possible?
Let's,
Cosplay?
well, everything. So
Okay.
Instagram and TikTok,
Yeah.
bigger than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Back in 14, 15, 16, 17, they were kind of there but growing, right? You were using Facebook at the time.
Yeah.
Now you could argue Facebook is a boomer site.
14? No, I was using Instagram in
14,
2014.
I didn't
yeah.
actually start using my Instagram until like 2017,
late to the
18.
party,
I was.
Jerry. Yeah.
I was late to the party. But hey, that hasn't stopped me. You might even say the same thing with like YouTube. Yeah, YouTube returns were better at the time.
Yeah.
But it's not to say now there's
It's
still
still
more
going,
people than
it's still-
ever
you're
watching
right.
YouTube, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But
you're
that's
right.
that's my kind of argument going forward, right? I'm going to hit the button on this phone as well. Be like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah, we
make sure
forgot.
that we don't run over time.
We always forget.
Anyway, so let's crack on these drinks for a second.
I'm
I feel
trying,
sweet.
it hurts. hurts my finger. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just put it underneath. You're welcome.
I didn't get to make the satisfying noise.
That's fine. I got to do it twice.
My nails are really short now from my new job, so.
Me too.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Big ears.
Big ears.
Same goes, small nose.
I didn't know that one before.
Whoa. It's not carbonated.
This is
That's
nice.
so weird.
Really? Can I try? Is that okay? Try this one?
It's good. I like it though. What is this? Lemony?
Lemon. It's nice. It's not too...
That's like Calpis. Whoa.
That is like Calpis.
Yours tastes like ginger beer or something weird. Bah.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
I love it.
Too tangy.
It might be like...
I like
it's
mine.
the sparkling tea.
Okay.
That's what it is.
It does taste like sparkling tea. It does. It does.
That's just Calpis.
I know,
Like,
right?
That's just Calpis.
I know. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. No, I feel like I don't know how to summarize my arguments, but
That's
I did
okay.
my little notes, and
Yep.
I really think that there are a few things that make right now a hard time.
difficult
to cosplay.
time, yeah?
Difficult, because, and probably not as, like, meaningful and, like, sustainable as it maybe was.
That's a good point. I can agree with that. Well, we're going to dive into that a little bit now.
Yeah. No.
Let's dive into that right now, actually.
'Cause-
First point. It's not as sustainable. It's becoming like fast fashion.
Fast fashion,
right?
yeah, and trends. It is.
It's like
Absolutely
you
is.
get the cosplay.
Look at the quality of this thing.
I mean, she
It's
looks
so
good,
thin.
but you wouldn't know. This stuff is
No.
like
It's like scuba
you know the
swimwear
stuff that you go swimming in.
fabric.
That's the kind of material it is.
Not a hoodie.
Not a hoodie.
Look how sad this hood looks. It's lifeless and floppy. It has no bounce and structure like this beautiful figure does right here.
No bounce of structure.
No,
Loose and floppy.
It doesn't, exactly. No, but okay, it's so easy to buy things so that it becomes like very, like, and they're always cheaper and not made as
Not as well.
Not that they were like that great back in the day, but they're made even worse now, I
Yeah.
feel like. Unless you're paying the like premium
stuff.
SSR tier Taobao sellers.
The thing is with that too, and
Yeah.
this is unfortunately going against my argument. I'm going to put it out there.
Okay.
Just giving credit where it's due.
Uh-huh.
It is like fast fashion. You get it. You like wear it for, but that's with all cosplay. Really doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago or now.
Yeah.
You wear it once or twice.
Once or twice.
But you might even do a couple of TikTok reels and like, yep, I'm done with this. Time to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But that kind of plays into, to me anyway, it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Let me
it
get
is.
that right.
It is.
Big bad thing. But that is also something that has made it very accessible to people.
Is it? I feel like it makes it less accessible
Yeah.
because you feel like, oh no, if I want to be a cosplayer, that means I'm going to have to get into cosplay every week to make new TikToks. I'm going to need a new thing every now and then for new content so I can stay relevant in the social media algorithm monstrosity
Yeah, the
of
monstrosity.
the cycle of the algorithm.
I mean, that doesn't take
Yeah.
away from the accessibility. It's still very accessible.
No, but
right?
it's a barrier to entry to being people believe that the expectation is now on you to constantly be whipping out new cosplays.
I mean, that's on your mindset, really. And if you want to be like, hey, I need to make something every week, you don't have to.
You do have to make
could.
something new all the time, I reckon.
Well, that's
I
where
reckon.
I agree. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to kind of like be on the trend, you want to post something every day.
Yeah.
But I don't think posting something every day is necessarily going to be, hey, let's do a new dance, let's do a new costume, let's do
Yeah.
You could split one costume, for example, this scuba top, into, I don't know, a dozen different things. Top of your head, can you think of a dozen different, like, let's say TikToks, 30 seconds each?
Maybe.
It could be anything from like, hey, let's open
But
it up.
it's
Let's-
not about whether I want. It's like the expectation is already there.
Where's the
society,
expectation? Is
from
it
society,
society?
from the greater, especially TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
with how fast moving it is. They expect you to have something new. Or
Well,
they'll be like, "Oh, we've already seen this."
I think it's, again, like, I get where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
think it does come into the process, which needs to be more developed rather than just, we've got it. For example, art. Let's talk about a digital painting or even just a hand-drawn painting, right? It takes weeks or months, I don't know, to make an artwork, right? And you could say the same things. Oh, it's for me to be relevant, I need to make a new artwork very quickly, very regularly, every week, every day even. But some people don't have that time, or they want to put all their love and effort into making something they actually care about.
Yeah.
So they don't have that time to, or that opportunity to say, oh, here's like me showing off my revealed piece every day. So less it's going to be about that, but more into like, all right, today I'm going to be looking at making this part of the artwork, or let's look at these resources that I use, or this is where I source these kind of things. And I think the same thing can be applied to cosplay.
But I feel like if you go back to 2014, cosplay and art, if you're putting something out on DeviantArt, that will circulate for months before it becomes something that's like boring or already been done and seen. I feel like you could wear the same cosplay to like every single convention that year and it be fine and
Yeah.
no one make a fuss about it. Or especially when you're planning something with your friends,
Yeah.
instead of being like, oh, would you like to do this new group with me? Would you like to do this new group? It would be like, let's do that again. That was fun.
I mean,
I feel like that doesn't happen anymore as much.
You really could.
It could, but it doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen as much. And I
No.
think it really depends on how you see it, how you kind of view
It's
it.
what cosplay has evolved into, something that's become so mainstream, so many more people are doing it, so it's become a lot more competitive in that there are lots of people who push out content all the time.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I think there are definitely more creators,
Yeah.
absolutely, but I don't think that there's fewer eyeballs on cosplay. It's not as if I can only view 100 profiles. Once I reach 100, that's it. I can't add any more to my watch list.
You technically have only so much time in a day when you're like going on Instagram, you're scrolling through your stories.
Yeah.
You're not going to reach the end of your stories.
Correct, which is why I think in this case, quality will come over quantity in this case, in which you'll
Yes.
keep wanting to watch the ones who do pump out the stuff. It's like, hey, I like what they do. But if it's going to be the person who's going to be like, hey, I'm putting out something every day for the sake of putting something out every day.
Yeah. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I know what you're saying. But do you disagree that there is an expectation to constantly be working on a new project?
It depends, like I said, on your mindset. If your mindset is
No,
like,
in society.
In society.
In general, like the cosplay scene as it is, do you think there is an expectation to always have something new to produce after a con is done?
Yeah.
What are you doing for the next one?
an expectation
Yeah.
from society,
Yeah,
like
from
your
like everyone,
watchers.
the general community, yeah, expects you to do something new.
I don't think when you say the word expect,
Yeah.
that's a really interesting thing
It
because
is.
yeah,
There's like an invisible expectation for you to constantly be doing something new.
I once upon a time I think I would agree
Yeah,
because you could feel that pressure. The second I took a step back and thought, who am I doing
Yeah.
this for?
I know.
I
But
didn't,
if
I
you're
didn't think there was any
A
expectation
younger
at all.
cosplayer,
Yeah.
just starting, because your argument is now
Yeah.
is the best time
Yeah.
to become a
Yep,
cosplayer.
yep, yep.
But if you are right now trying to become a cosplayer and
Yep.
you have that massive barrier to
Yep.
entry, being like, those pressures and expectations are going to come onto me as soon as I enter this hobby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the thing,
Isn't that a bad thing?
I don't think it's a barrier, and I don't think that there's the pressure. It
There
really,
is.
it depends.
There so is.
Okay, what's the pressure is expectation,
Yep.
right? Expectation from
To
to produce
Produce?
from other people.
yes.
Right?
And to always look perfect. I want
Who are you doing the hobby for? Is it you or them?
Who knows? Who knows?
Because that is
When
where
you're young,
Hey?
you're doing it to like fit in.
Hey?
I feel like we've talked
Well,
about
we've talked
to do
about
it
reasons to
before.
do it, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think it is good because you've got that opportunity to have your stuff seen by other people if you
Yes.
wanted it to be that way.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it for yourself, okay, put it this way. Right now, I'm doing this for myself.
Yeah.
I still have the opportunity to have eyeballs on me if I
Yeah.
wanted it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I was going to produce something, cool, people see it. Excellent. I think more people see it because more people are on social media these days.
Yes.
More people are
Yes.
doing it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you say the expectation's there. I think there's only expectation if you care about what other people think.
For sure.
But if you don't, there's no expectation that way.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are in that boat where they do care about what people think still.
So,
A lot of people.
well, that's not a barrier.
It's hard. I think that's like how we are naturally.
Inclines to think.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. I think you have to break free from that mindset to be able to escape that like perspective of the world. The perfection, like the pressure and the expectation that your cosplay is perfect as well. Of course, it's out from the outside. You've even said on occasions where you go out to a con and somebody starts telling you you don't have the right prop actually for
Yep,
this.
yep.
I mean, every single cosplayer knows what that's like to get a comment being like, "Oh, this character is not like this.
Yep.
This is not right. This is not right." That expectation is there. It's real. The pressure to be perfect and like exactly on the ball with the character. It's absolutely there.
So you don't
And
think...
it's incredibly like scary to
Right.
try and get that perfection when you're just beginning. It makes you not want to do it.
to cosplay?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the things that will either say is like, oh, I am... Okay, when you do it,
Yeah.
I think you will, yes, feel pressure of some kind. When you kind of... Well, when you first do cosplay, you are like, yay, let's wear a costume, right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in that for anything else. I'm like, wow, I'm going to wear this costume. My first time doing it because I'm going to get famous, right? He's like, I'm going to wear this costume because I want to wear this costume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. When you kind of get into the community a little bit more, you'll start up a social media profile.
It has bits in it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know,
Oh,
I
it's
just
little
wasn't
jelly.
expecting
Little bits
it.
of jelly. It's like Calpis with jelly.
I need like a straw.
I don't think I'm going to show. You're going to
fine.
just have to like tip it into your mouth, and the
Yay.
jelly is going to be surprise jelly.
Great.
You don't like it?
It was unexpected! Even though
Unexpected
there's
jelly.
little bits on the...
Yeah, little jelly
I
bits.
should have known.
Well, see,
fine.
no jelly bits on this one. Just
The bubbles.
that's bubbles.
Oh, carbonated.
Carbonated.
I get it
I could
now.
expect it's going to be carbonated.
What? What are we arguing about?
It's difficult. I say, well, the whole topic is, hey,
Yes.
now's the best time in history to be a
Yes,
cosplayer.
I
and
remember
you're like,
the
now's
topic.
the worst time in history to be a cosplayer.
I didn't say worse. I just said the golden era has passed. I said area again. The
Era.
golden era.
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 Golden era has passed.
I think when
But it may be my own personal bias of
it could be
nostalgia
your personal
applied to
experience
that.
as well. And you might be like, oh, that was a simpler time when things were not just I think back then there were still people who were, still very big on the internet, and they might have had the same pressure of being like, wow, I have to make sure the next project I do is just as good or just as fancy.
To a point, I think that, like, when you have a smaller world, you can kind of grapple your reality a little bit. But when the world opens up to the way it has on social media, and it becomes, oh, you're not just comparing yourself to Jeffrey next door, you're comparing yourself to the fucking Olympian who lives in Canada around, like, all the way on the other side of the world, who you would never cross paths with, never ever consider comparing yourself to them, but because of social media, you now have access to their daily lives, their daily updates, the high quality costume that they've been working on for months, and that might make you feel like shit because you are still beginning and you don't know how to do anything that they're doing.
Again, at this point in time, it's not about, it's a good time to be a cosplayer. You can see that as a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a bad thing.
Whoa.
The human brain is not, designed to be able to see into that many people's lives
It's
at
also,
once.
well, that's it. It can also be a good thing because, so number one, let's take this down one at a time, right?
Okay.
So too many, you can't look at that many people's lives at once, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, you can be selective about what you want to watch,
Yes.
right? You can select,
But you have to actively make that decision, and logging into these apps, social media, is designed...
look, I know you're having a
not-
tough time with social media right now, okay?
Am I? Am I?
Because, okay, look, it's good because, number one,
Yeah.
we're not limited to 3 TV channels.
Yes,
Right?
of course.
We've got options.
Of course.
So we get to pick and choose
Yeah.
who we watch.
How can you pick when there's like a bajillion million...
Well, that's just it.
Zillion
You
options.
take your time. It's like, do I like this one? No, I'm not going to follow that. Or
Yeah.
say you follow someone because, like, hey, I like their work, but I don't really like their attitude towards certain things.
Yeah.
Right? You can stop following them. You've got that choice. You don't have to consume their content
Yeah,
every
but
day,
I feel
right?
like a lot of people don't know that that's an active choice to break out of that mindset.
I mean, you could also be like, hey, I don't have to eat KFC today. That's an active choice. Like, it's a choice. I think you know that the choice is there, but if you want to take that step or not, that's up to
but
you.
a lot of the effects of following someone you are maybe inspired by, it might be an invisible effect on you that you might not realize that you're comparing yourself to them.
Yeah, like, that's an option.
You
Like,
might not know consciously. You might be like, wow, that thing that shield that they've made, it's
Yeah.
fucking incredible. And then you don't work on your own stuff for months.
that
and
sounds like...
not know why.
That sounds like a thing that you got to work out if that's the case, right? But the fact is,
I
because
hear it all the time when people are like, oh, you're so great at sewing, I wish I could be like that, and then they never make anything.
that doesn't sound like it's a you problem. It sounds
No.
like it's a them problem.
Well, I've seen it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people. A lot of people don't make their stuff anymore.
Because it's accessible, right? Now, I think...
What?
It's
A lot of people don't make stuff
They don't
anymore
make
because
stuff.
it's so accessible.
accessible in terms of you can buy it, right?
Okay.
Accessible to buy
Okay.
it, right? Yep.
Okay.
It's good because once upon a time, back in the golden era,
Yeah.
it probably wasn't as easy to buy, right? So you were forced to make it. And
Maybe.
even then, you could have said, oh, I feel crap about the stuff that I've made because it's not as good as the stuff that old mate in Canada has made because it's not as... Like, the same pressure applies. Doesn't matter what year you look at cosplay.
Maybe.
It doesn't even have to be on the internet. It's like, oh, old mate Jenny down the road made this fabulous dress and I saw her at the con and I feel shit about myself. Like, that same pressure applies. It doesn't matter.
Maybe.
So that
Maybe.
pressure that you talk about, to me, I feel like it's always existing, right? It's
Yeah.
just going to depend on how you choose to deal with it.
I guess so.
But in today's era, because there's a multitude of different people, you don't have to follow Jenny from down the road, who might be this
A
amazing...
lot of the time,
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of like apps where you control what you see.
Hmm.
On TikTok, you have no control over what you see.
Put it this way, you can...
It's all in your For You page. It's just coming in. The algorithm just feeds you anything. You can't really control it. Yes, you can hit not interested,
Yeah.
but it's still going to push you things.
Okay, this is why we talk about TikTok, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
different. It's different. And
So-
even YouTube. YouTube just recommends you random things. You don't really get to choose what you're going to see on that landing page.
On the landing page, yeah.
Your subscription page is full of shit and shorts now. So
It is full of
it's-
shorts and scripts.
Yeah, you can't really, like, watch as easily.
It doesn't change the fact it's still a good resource. It's still a good resource of, like, YouTube. It's like, hey, so one of the points
As a search engine,
As a
yes.
search engine, yeah. Because you can choose to and watch the things that you just want to watch. It's up to you if you want to choose to click on the next video. It's a choice.
It auto-plays. It auto-plays
You can
the
turn
next
on and
video.
play off. You can turn that off
Yeah,
too.
yeah, you can.
There's a lot of choice here, which I think, like, yes.
A lot of these social media apps show you anything.
They show you
Pinterest
anything.
shows you anything.
Yeah. You could even, because, look, the point of a lot of that is
Yeah.
to be a resource for you to use. And it's
The
up
point of that is to keep you on the app
I'll
as long
keep
as
you on
possible.
as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how they make money.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to, number one, choose to use it or not. And
course.
number two, to choose to consume what they recommend or not. So, for example, YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? You can type in how to sew a button.
Yes.
Right? You pick your how to sew a button tutorial. You could pick Jenny down the road. She's like, I'm the best. I'm going to show you how to sew a button. Maybe you don't like that vibe. You go
Yeah.
to the next one, who's, I don't know, Mike from Ipswich. And Mike from Ipswich's like, you know what? We're going to take it easy today and sew a button. And I hope you join me for the ride. Same thing with podcasts, for example.
Yes.
You might not like our vibe in the first 10 minutes. That's fine. You can easily be like, you know what? I don't like that. I want to go to the next one.
Okay, your
Or-
point.
The point is, you can choose. It's not locked into being like, oh, I have to watch this person who I don't like, and now I feel depressed about myself.
Of course.
You don't have to.
Of course you don't have
And
to.
that's the luxury of being in the current era, because we've got that choice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what I'm putting forward anyway with
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that
I
looking, right?
still
You're like,
feel like you get fed things and you see them without, even before you have time to exit out of it, you still see it.
I mean, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's going to be like, hey, we're going to show you this video of, I don't know, how a Big Mac is made. And if that disgusts you, or like, I don't like how that Big Mac is made. Like, it's probably going to be a description how a Big Mac is made, right? But you don't have to click it. You don't have to watch it. I mean, you could say the same thing about television programming, right? Channel 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10.
Look, yeah, I feel like I feel like we're on different sort of pages here, but I feel like because cosplay has become a lot more popular and a lot
Yep.
more, maybe, accessible over the years, a lot more people are doing it.
Yep.
And as a result, the standard has risen. Would you agree with that?
Overall standard, yeah.
Yeah, has
Yeah.
risen. It's
Yeah.
risen. And there's more people who are like maybe professional models as well,
Yep.
who have perfect body image,
Yep.
abs all the way
Abs for
down
days.
to their feet.
Yep.
You know,
Draw that.
down to their feet. So I feel like the level of where cosplay's out on the internet is
Yeah.
now more toxic to compare yourself to back in 2014.
Again, every time that it comes up to the comparison, that
Yeah.
is definitely on the individual thing. Because
No, because like it's cosplay when you're looking to be like, I'm gonna go see
Yep.
how this person made their this, and then you end up analyzing their costume to be like, what parts of this made it good?
yeah,
Yeah.
cool,
You
excellent.
end up comparing yourself to another person.
No, you might not always do that, because the assumption here
Yeah.
is, I'm going to compare myself, it's going to be a toxic thing. Or, because there's more people out there, there's better people, therefore I'm going to look at it, I'm going to compare myself. The thing that keeps you coming back to is the comparison.
Yeah.
And if it's a comparison, that's
Yeah.
not an automatic thing that
Yeah.
every single person does.
Yeah.
Because if it is, then that's something you
Is
obviously
it not
need
the
to work on.
culture? Is it not the culture? From what I've, like, the comments on certain
Hmm.
posts being like, you are the best Lelouch cosplay I've ever seen.
Which is false, but
But the connotation from that is that there is a leaderboard here and that you are the best. And
This-
that
this leaderboard
you've been
is-
compared to other ones.
well, this leaderboard is completely non-existent.
But it exists to that person.
It exists to that person, and if that
But it's
leaderboard
very
exists,
common. It's a very common comment. Wouldn't you agree?
it's if it's a comment
You
that
see
is,
it all the time. That it's like, you're the best this I've ever seen.
if it does exist, and you can say it's like, oh, this is the best I've ever seen. Cool, that is a leaderboard that exists to that person, and if that person feels like, oh wow, I'm not going to be as good as that, so I'm not going to do it. That is work that they have to do.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
But that's not a representation of, like, cosplay has become crap because more people are doing it.
That's
Because
not
that
what I
seems to be the
said.
underlying argument here. It's because
No.
more people are doing it, it's become not as good.
I would
Right?
say it's become an environment that has become increasingly toxic to subconsciously navigate. You have to consciously navigate the online community and a lot more careful than you would have used to, I think.
The thing is, I very vividly remember back in 08, 9, 10, whatever it was a thing. If you saw another Lelouch cosplayer, you would avoid them like the plague.
Well, that's why I said
right?
2014 to 18, golden era.
The thing is, because it's progressed, like you see another one's like, wow, same costume, let's be friends, let's take a photo.
Yeah.
That's progressed even to today. It just keeps gotten to the stage in which if you basically outwardly say, oh, I saw that one over there and they sucked, like, you are going to be lynched, right? it's become
I agree with that.
become not cool to be a dick, right? Which is great.
I feel like
Which
it
is
was
great.
like that in 2014 as well.
Well, I think it's gotten even better in that regard.
Okay.
It's gotten better. And you could say the same thing with the progression of things like, let's say, science or technology. Yeah, more people get into it means we've got more brains collaborating to
I agree with
find more
that.
things and
I
more things
agree
to
with
take
that.
inspiration from.
Yes.
And yeah, you could look at old mate, oh, Albert Einstein, I'm never gonna be as good as him. Woe is me. This sucks. You could. Like, that is absolutely could.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you could, alternatively be like, wow, Albert Einstein, great guy. You know what? I'm going to learn from him and do that. And I'm gonna feel, like he was better than me in these regards at some stage. Sure, that's normal. But, if you're going to be looking at every single person who is, let's say, a few steps ahead of you in some activity, and you're constantly comparing yourself, that's not a reflection of cosplay in particular.
Yeah, I feel like it's more common than you think.
It's probably very common.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
A very common thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that because, cosplay has become so popular that it's just purely cosplay's fault itself. Yeah, it could be something, I'm saying could be, in the culture of cosplay, because it is based around looks. I'm not going to deny that. That's what cosplay is. It's how you look, you could say it's like, I want to be known for craftsmanship and kindness. I think they're fucking amazing things. But because it's cosplay, it's a visual aspect.
Yeah.
There's going to be a looks or how you look. That's going to be something that rides on your mind.
Body image, absolutely.
Body image.
Absolutely. So I feel like we're saying cosplay's become more mainstream.
Yeah.
Would you say at conventions, have you noticed it's become more cliquey?
Yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
don't disagree about that, but I feel like that's always been the case, honestly.
I was going to say, you've been going to them for longer, so you would know more of a kind of like gist of like whether it's always been that way.
I mean, you
or...
see people come and go.
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
Would you say in like age groups?
Age groups is a big thing, because
Yeah.
just like, I don't know, you go to school camp or something, you'll be groups of friends which you hang out with, and sometimes you go join another group and say hi. And I've even heard the comment too, sometimes it's like, oh, I find it hard to meet people because they're always in cliques or groups.
Yeah.
And, that to me has always been a thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Human
think
nature.
it's human nature. Just you want to stay with what's safe. So, in terms of like, oh, golden era back then or now, it's to me, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
But just in terms of like, look, let's just say opportunities to get into it, I think it's a lot easier because let's say back when you started, how did you discover it?
At a con?
At a con?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I went to Brisbane Supernova.
How did you find out about Supernova?
My friends at high school?
Yeah,
Were
right.
going?
So
Yeah.
it's just kind of word of mouth.
Yeah,
kind
word of
thing,
mouth,
right?
yeah.
For
I
me,
didn't, like, actively search it out.
I saw an ad in the paper, right? And I was like, wow, that looks cool. Let's try
They
that.
do go very hard on them advertising.
Yeah, right. So I think nowadays, because number one, there's more cons. There's more cons, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh wow, there's
Are there more?
more.
I feel like there were more in, like, 2018.
Possibly.
Considering we've lost.
Oh, well,
Mad
you know,
Fest.
COVID was a thing, right?
Yeah.
It got replaced by CrunchyCon?
Yeah.
Right? You know, whether or not there's going to
And
be
it
a good
doesn't
thing going
tour.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
we'll
only
find
did
out.
the one location. They're
Yeah.
not there. Yeah, they didn't
They're,
bring it
they're
around.
working on it, you know. They're
Yeah,
working
but they
on it.
had a running con.
Had running con, but I don't know, maybe
Gone.
Man got acquired. Who knows, right? A whole bunch of different
It
things.
did. It did.
Right, so there's more cons to me anyway. Back then,
We've got Oz Comic Con. We've got Supernova.
Supernova. Yeah.
That's all we've got. In Brisbane.
In Brisbane. There was a Madfest.
There used to be Madfest in 2018.
There never was a PAX until probably more recent years. So PAX is good.
Yeah.
There was an
that's
EB
Melbourne.
Expo. I mean, some cons are coming and gone. There was Gen Con.
RTX.
There was RTX.
I feel like there was more in 2018.
What's it? That might have been a particular year because RTX wasn't every single year, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was like every second year, I think.
Every second year.
But then they just stopped bringing it here.
But I guess
because we had EB Expo and RTX, I feel like we're around the same year.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, there were more back then.
Oh, possibly?
Yeah.
Maybe one or two more?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe 1 year was different. Maybe
They
1
had
year was
the
not.
Epic DM events.
Possibly. But just as a matter of fact, in terms of comparing it to eons ago, let's go like that, there's more cons in general nowadays than there was once upon a time.
Yeah.
Before there was internet.
History. Okay.
So there's more chances to go to a con. There's more chances to meet people. There's more chances to just do cosplay. I mean, you could order a cosplay and do it in your room, whatever, but it's more fun when you go out and meet people, right? So that's to me one of the good parts. You just don't like that
I'm
chewy.
chewing my gummies.
Your little jelly bits in a can.
Nom, nom, nom.
When you get a bubble tea, you don't eat the jelly?
I do. I love the bubble tea
Isn't
tapioca
that the
pearls.
same thing, or?
No, it's like coconut jelly.
I mean, like the
Slightly
jelly in a bubble
different.
tea. You don't get like the jelly in the bubble tea.
Not usually. Occasionally. Usually you have a straw.
Oh, I can
different.
kind of suck it up, and I choose to take this
Yeah,
piece of
exactly.
jelly today.
I consented.
I consent to this jelly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I feel like you've defeated my argument then.
I don't think I've defeated. I think they're
Okay.
both two good things to consider.
I feel like it is my personal nostalgia bias. You know, it's like YouTubers when you see like people be like, I miss the old Markiplier, but it's really like, no, you just missed your old life when you were still
Watching-
in high school,
and watching
all
Markiplier
you
at
had
that
to
point in
do
time.
is go home
Yeah.
and relax and watch Markiplier, and that's all you had to worry about. But now you have bills, rent, a car to pay
Yeah.
off, a job that you hate. So of course you miss the old Markiplier.
So, well, that's the thing, because don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I had a great time, 2014 to 18.
Yeah.
I had a very
See?
good
Yeah,
time.
good times.
It's good times. And
Comparatively to recently.
look, I say recently has also been very good.
Okay,
Also been very
okay,
good. I'm not
okay.
going to say that was better back in
Your
the day.
horror Sydney trip.
Well, that's just it. Like, that year might have sucked.
Yeah.
But, you know, the next year, 2021,
Yeah.
which was last
Yeah.
year? 22.
The year
22 was
before.
the year before. 22 was great.
Yeah.
You know? 23, I don't know what's going to happen. But, you know, I
We're
think
going
it's...
to Japan. That's what's
Could have
happening.
gone Japan.
In
And
193 days.
193 days.
Out,
No, wait,
I think.
90, you said 97 last time, so it'll be 90 now. 190.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I don't know how long a week
It's
is.
alright. I did pretty
I
good
need to
in...
go back to school.
I did pretty good in maths. I might crap on it, but I wasn't the best maths, but I was pretty good. But
I want a 3-day week. No, what did I say? A 5-day week?
you're doing 9 to 5, are you? Oh, man.
No.
She's climbing that corporate ladder. She's climbing it, whether she said she
Getting
wanted
that
to or not.
bread. No, I'm not at all. At all.
But I think there's always going to be, you know, back in the good old days, or back when I was this age. I think because...
I just thought of an argument.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. Let's argue.
So, the quality of the anime that was coming out is so much better than the quality of the anime that is currently being
Now?
released.
I think it comes in waves. Now, when I say this, when you say
Yeah,
when you say
okay.
quality, we're talking like
Yes.
story,
Story,
character
quality,
development,
lack of fan service,
like okay.
amount of fan service.
Put it this way, I think there's always going to be stuff that stands out above the
Yes,
rest, and they're the
okay.
ones you will remember.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of crap back in Sword Art Online peak,
But
right?
there was better stuff back then, right? Like,
Because again, it might be a nostalgia thing. Yeah, FMA, don't get me wrong. Gurren Lagann, terrific.
Yeah.
Madoka,
Madoka.
great, right? You might be like,
all the greats.
it's like they're great. They're classics. They've had
Evangelion.
10 plus years
Yeah.
to remain greats because
That's how good they were.
exactly there are still stuff these days which we might see 10 years from now,
It
which we're like,
doesn't
wow.
go as longer.
Hey?
No, the quality. Look at the quality. The Promised Neverland. Incredible story.
Yep,
Great
yep.
characters. Absolutely killed it.
Exactly. That was
Because of the anime.
the
Because
anime
of how
killed it.
rushed they've become.
Some other anime still do well.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
But the thing, you're not going to consider that a classic until another 10 years from now.
Maybe.
Another 10 years from now. Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, we can look at this episode 10 years from now and you'll be like,
Yeah.
wow, you know what? You were right. Chainsaw Man did slap, right? It could be something like that. It could be. You might be like, wow,
yeah.
Spy Family. That
Yeah.
was revolutionary.
Okay,
We're not going to
okay.
know until it's past. Like, when Madoka was here.
Yes.
You'd be like, wow, Madoka, that's great. That was a great series. I really enjoy it. Let's cosplay it. Right? Mm-hmm. But only now you can say, wow, Madoka, what a great series that was back in the day. I might say the same thing about Spy Family now. I mean, 10 years' time.
Yeah.
At the time, I was cosplaying Code Geass, for example, right? I'm like, this rules.
It's
Code
still a great
Geass.
anime.
It's a good anime,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I can only say still because time's passed.
Okay.
And so,
I wonder if we were to do a big list though
Yeah.
about how many in the last like 5 years that you've actually genuinely liked that you would watch again.
good question.
Versus
yeah.
like after that.
After that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say just outwardly, it's gonna
Yeah.
be more difficult for
Like
me
Soul
now
Eater?
because I'm not watching as much as I used to.
Yeah, but maybe it doesn't draw you in like it used to.
Again, there's another argument there.
Because there's too much to consume now.
Possibly, yes.
And now you have way too much choice, way too much
I
accessibility.
don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. It's, to me, again, hard to compare because there's up and down. And also, because now that I'm a little bit older,
Yeah.
stuff where it's like, main protagonist is like, wow, high school boy, my goal is to get laid. Like, that storyline doesn't appeal to
But
me.
have you ever liked that storyline?
As a kid? Yes. I want to say yes.
Okay, but you didn't name any anime just then that
Love
have
Hina.
What?
That Love Hina is
no,
complete
no, that
masterpiece.
one.
That
Okay.
started
Okay.
the
But
harem
like
genre.
you said, Gurren Lagann, that's not about a
No,
school
no,
kid.
no, it's not.
No,
No, it's not.
that's
But
not.
all of
Sword
the-
Art Online is kind of, it's like
Kind
an
of,
isekai, like
but-
not really.
Yeah, Isekai was like a big thing 2013
It's still
to
a big
2018.
thing.
Yeah,
They're still milking
that's a big
it.
genre, right?
Yeah.
But like the harem genre,
Okay.
like one guy, lots of
Harem,
girls.
Yep.
That's
Konosuba?
Konosuba takes the piss out of it,
Okay.
which is fun.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
that. That's
Okay.
that's a masterpiece. I don't care who disagrees. You're wrong.
Okay.
But
We're really having like a fight about anime right now.
that's what we do. That's the best part of a podcast.
Oh, uh-huh.
But no, like, I could say, someone who's watching your stuff now where the main protagonist is a high school guy whose main goal is to get laid,
Okay.
Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah.
I say, like, oh, try watch my favourite, Love Hina. Maybe they'll be like, wow, this is great. Maybe they're like, wow, this sucks, because animation quality has changed
Yep.
in 10, 15 years,
Yep.
right? Voice acting's gotten better. Production quality's gotten better. So,
Has it? The Promised Neverland?
look,
I feel like production quality is very
loose term,
loose.
right?
Literally.
But you are right in that, yes, I think back in the time, because there were fewer series,
Yeah.
they took more time to
Develop.
it,
Well,
and they
did
put more life
they?
into it.
Because if you look at like even like Fullmetal Alchemist, the original run,
Yep.
they had to deviate from the manga just to finish it in time. But they still went back and created a whole nother anime to match the storyline.
That's to me an outlier. I don't think of too many remakes they've done which have actually been like, wow, this is better than the original.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, good example. I can't really disagree with it because you're right. The brother was way better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, how many remakes have they bothered to do that for that have actually been good? Because I think FMA is a bit of an outlier in that case.
I would argue Death Note, the like real, I don't know if it counts, but the live action movies that they made, the Japanese Death Note movies, were good.
What?
I would say. I'd say.
I
Have you
can't-
seen them?
No, I haven't.
No. I
haven't.
think there's like 3. Yeah.
And they've been good?
Yeah, they're alright. They're
Interesting.
good. I would say much better than the Netflix.
The
adaptation.
Netflix adaptation, let's be so...
Did Evangelion get a remake?
They've redone the whole series into like 4 movies. But
yeah.
they've basically told a little bit... It gets to a certain stage which it deviates
Yeah.
from the original.
Yeah.
Again, they may have
Again,
had
remake,
time
kind of.
to develop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That being said, there were a lot of like 26 episode animes which should not have been 26 episodes. They were drawn out. They were like
But
50% fillers.
that makes the filler episodes like iconic.
It could be. Again, that could be. Again, hard to tell because I don't know. It could be
Okay.
bias.
Okay.
It could be bias. It's like,
Maybe.
wow, I grew up with this. And for me, I couldn't stream it or just go on to, watch Chainsaw Man and find it for free. I paid my $30 to watch 4 episodes on a DVD. So,
Really?
yeah, that's how much it was.
Okay, I remember watching the sites back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like people like, yeah, I watched Bleach in 480p and
Oh, no.
3 parts kind of thing. I didn't do that. I didn't have the
no.
internet,
Yeah.
which was that accessible.
Yeah.
I had 200 megabytes a month at one stage. That's how like contained I was. So as a result, I paid for it. I did the good boy thing and paid for my anime. But as a
Couldn't
result,
get it from the library.
I couldn't. If I found it in the library, I was ecstatic because that was like, oh my god, yes! But I couldn't. So I had 4 episodes to watch. It cost me $30. Maybe the second DVD was 3 episodes, $30. So I was like, yes, I'm going to watch this multiple times because I paid for it. And I'm going to say I liked it because I paid for it. Right?
Uh-huh.
Now it's like, Netflix, do I feel like watching this? No, that sucks. Let's move to the next one. This one? Yeah, no, that's... You've got choice because there's just more of it.
Yeah, but that maybe you'll miss something really good because you have the world of choice now.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
And which is why it's like, well, if it's going to be good, it's going to be good. It's going to stand out
Yeah.
from other things. And to me, in a similar way, that rolls over into cosplay.
Yeah.
In which, yes, there's choice. Yes, there's more people now than ever. But if it's going to be good, it's going to be stuff that I'm going to notice and follow.
But isn't that pressure to get noticed?
Not
to,
pressure.
to be
It depends
followed?
what your goal is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think, again, we're going back to being famous.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
Well, no, I mean, everyone wants to be their own. Everyone wants to be unique. Everyone wants to stand out and have their own personality.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there is a pressure to just be yourself. And, like, what defines being yourself as a cosplayer, especially when you're doing...
Well,
when you're cosplaying as other people.
I think
and
the only
other
pressure...
characters.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's part of growing up too, finding
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And the only pressure really there is, do I want to look good in front of my audience, or do I want to actually be my genuine, honest self, regardless of what the reaction's going to be? Because, to me, again, if you're going to be this person who needs to put on this alternate ego in order to impress the masses, and if you feel the pressure's like, oh, I feel like I'm being fake, that is you. Like,
Yeah.
that your pressure of being fake, that's a you problem, again. But if you say, hey, I'd rather be my genuine self, I get fewer reactions or likes to it, but I get genuine people talking to me, I think, to me, that should be the goal, rather than trying to chase those likes and
Yeah, for
and
sure,
subs and
for
stuff.
sure.
Same thing with showing off your craft. Again, you've got more followers than me, so maybe you've got it right, but the followers that I do have and I interact with, I appreciate those interactions way more than someone who's like, wow, hottest swoosh ever, XXX. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I'd be like, wow, that's a great costume. How did you make it, or where'd you get it from? I'd love to know. I love those things more than, to be honest, I very rarely ever get this like, oh wow, I love her, I love you, I love this. It's, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like it, and it doesn't make me feel like me.
Okay.
So that's what
Yeah.
it's at. So, one other thing I thought that was really good about today versus any other time, and we're talking about availability, right? We're talking about like, oh, you can buy stuff online, you can do all these kinds of things. So I think not just online costumes that you can buy, if you still want to make it, which to me, unfortunately, is a bit of a dying art almost because it's so easy to buy.
Yeah.
I still think it's easier to find resources these days. Good example, Lumen's Workshop. Everyone knows Lumen's down in Melbourne. It's a cosplay specialty workshop run by cosplayers for cosplayers. Where else are you going to get foam clay and your putties and your adhesives and your foams and your warbler all in one spot? Didn't exist.
No,
Didn't exist.
it didn't.
You would be looking back and like, oh, let's try go to Clark Rubber. Maybe they've got something.
I remember that, all like Bunnings trips.
Bunnings trips. You're like,
Yeah,
what do
for the
they have?
expanding
I
foam.
hope they've got something.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get my stuff from Kmart. I still get my stuff from $2 stores.
Nice.
But $2 stores are getting less. Kmart's phasing
Yeah.
that stuff out.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I remember specifically ordering things from AliExpress back in the day used to take like 3 to 4 months to arrive, whereas these days you can pay like that tiny little bit extra and it comes in like 2 weeks.
it's great.
It's amazing.
It's great.
It's crazy. And now you have a lot of those like Australian shippers. So yeah, like
Oh,
if
it's
you
even
need
better.
like a wig last minute, you can
It's
just like
there.
yeah,
Right? It's
within a
just
few
there.
days gets delivered. Yeah.
And, the choice of wigs you can find on eBay. You can go, God, back... Okay, what's some good cosplay sites these days you can name off the top of your head? It's like Easy Cosplay if you want something cheap and fast. There's
Uwowo.
Uwowo. Is that the one with like the SR tier and the
Yeah,
SSR?
yeah. Doki Doki.
Doki Doki's
No,
another
that's
pretty-
the SSR.
Oh, that's the SS
yeah.
one. Well, Uwowo is another one.
Yeah.
I've always kind of
Doki
looked at those sites, and it's always like, wow, yeah, this is made for ladies, made for ladies, made for
They have
ladies.
Genshin boys.
Like 1 in 20.
boys?
1 in 20.
Okay.
And even then, it's just like, oh man, I don't have much choice here. So you're lucky in that regard, because I can't really buy too much. Unless it's Genshin. Unless I really like Genshin, I can get a dude. If it's like not Genshin, it's like, oh, good luck. Good luck trying to find it. But back in the day, there was one place I could go to, which was somewhat reliable, and my choices were any Final Fantasy costume,
Yeah.
Bleach costumes,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, good one. Naruto.
Yeah, I remember.
It was very, very limited.
Yeah, yeah.
But, and US prices too.
Yeah.
US was like, oh, good luck. And the quality was good, don't get me wrong, but you had no choice. You had one option, this one store. eBay, good luck, didn't exist.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
wig choices, like, you get those crappy party wigs,
Party
or
wigs.
those, I want to say those Karen wigs in those weird shades of blonde and
Yeah.
brown.
Yeah.
That's all you had. And even, like, say I wanted a blue wig, it'd be, shiny, synthetic, would not cut, the strands just fall out if you pull it.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
it's-
Wigs have
it's-
gotten a lot higher
they've
quality.
gotten a lot
They
better.
always have like the skin caps now. A lot of the girls, like long hair wigs, always have that like skin, like realistic hairline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it always looks really good.
That's
on a lot
pretty
of the
good.
wigs. Mm-hmm.
This one, this is, I had this wig when I first did Lush.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a very
How
old
old?
wig. It's like, if I pull the hair, it'd probably come out.
Have you ever washed it?
Good question. Can't confirm or deny.
Ew! Wash your wigs, people.
I do it occasionally.
You
but
wash your hair
I
every
wash my hair
week?
every couple of days.
Good. Why are you
What do you
not
think I
wash?
am?
Why
What-
don't you wash your wigs?
Wash wig.
Yeah.
Oh, wear it once
You know how much sweat gets up in there?
quite possibly. To be fair, I've got some old costumes I've never washed,
Ew.
and I have sweated
And they're
profusely in
moldy?
them. Cannot confirm or deny because I haven't checked them
Ew.
since.
Maybe that's what the ants are coming after.
No, absolutely not, because they're not going for the costumes, are they?
How do you know? They're trying to get through past you to the
Well,
closet.
I was looking through the closet, saw nothing.
Okay.
It can't have been that.
Okay.
I've still a mystery. My house has got lots of ants in it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
summer, and they come out every summer, and I hate it. I hate it. If
Perks
that's what
of
you're
living in
wondering about.
Australia. Yes,
Oh, love it.
Insects will always find their way into your house.
Yep.
Today,
Yeah.
this morning, I was like closing my windows right before I was about to leave, and I was like, oh, it's a cute little spider. Because I'm not really scared of spiders, but it was like this little one. And then as I like leave to walk out of the room, there's another one on the other side of the room. I'm like, that's probably not good.
Did you leave it?
I went back in later to get my bag, and both of them had disappeared. So they're probably in my bed waiting for me.
In your bedroom,
There you go,
waiting
we're
for
gonna
you.
cuddle tonight.
Yeah,
The
excellent.
little eensy beensy spiders.
Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, weird cosplay memory as well.
Mm-hmm.
I say cosplay memory. I obviously live with my parents at their house. There's one bathroom that the kids shared, is on that side of the house, and once every summer, maybe every second summer, we're spider stories now. Here
Yeah,
we go.
okay.
But
Arachnophobia warning.
arachnophobia one, skip this part if you don't like it, but it's a story in itself. And this is the only bathroom I had, only mirror I had, so I do all my wig styling in there. I do my contacts, do my makeup. This is when, I don't know much about makeup, so I'm experimenting. You slather on stage makeup because you want to look as like pale as possible to do a vampire character. You do a Vampire Night character, you put like a tattoo on your neck, a temporary tattoo.
You did a lot for Vampire Night by the sound of it. Again, another older anime.
Exactly. Vampire Night. Is it memorable? No.
Yes,
no.
it is. So many people love Vampire Night.
Just got the school
to this
uniforms,
day.
top tier. It wasn't
Okay.
just like, yay, bow or skirt. It actually had like designs,
Mm-hmm.
patterns, and like night class, the hot ones, and you're like, oh, Kuryu. Oh, that was the guy's name. I'm
I've
pretty
never
sure.
seen it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you missed much.
Okay.
It was like at the time, it was, for example, I'm gonna say it, Soul Eater.
Yeah.
One of your faves. It seems like your dream costume. I still haven't watched it. I'm about 5 episodes in, I haven't passed that.
Okay.
Is it worth watching still?
The manga is much better.
Mine's better.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can watch up until they're about to fight the Kishin, so
Yeah.
you can and then swap to the manga.
Because I'm watching it,
Yeah.
and it's very of its time.
Is the music not amazing?
The opening sounds and it's one of Keely's favorite
Background
too.
music?
But again, I can't tell.
It's a bop.
Is it the series? Because the series feels like an of its time.
Yeah.
It's like, some bits are a little bit slow, some bits seem a bit over the top, but maybe that's like the style, right? But I can't tell. Like, is this objectively good? Is it not? Is this just again? What's the word? Nostalgia kicking in? Because I can admit there's some series I watch like, wow, I love that series. Is it any good objectively? Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
For example, Dear Angel, the big angel wing thing I did.
Yeah, I don't think
The
I have.
anime, good series.
Yeah, the
I
manga looked better.
Oh, the manga,
from what
the
I've seen.
art's terrific.
Yeah,
Art's
art looks
terrific.
really good.
It's a little bit confusing to follow sometimes. But I watched like 1 or 2 episodes more recently, the last few years, and to try. It's like, oh, is this any good? It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
But to me, at the time, as like a 14-year-old who like was into romance and big grand acts and stuff like that, it was top tier. It was the
Top tier.
pinnacle. You could not beat it.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. I feel like Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicles.
Yes.
The like manga, incredible, but the anime that they made is like the shittest,
I
worst.
tried watching
most
it. It's
terrible.
slow.
It's slow. It's like 12 frames per
Yeah,
second,
it's
like
not
they
great.
didn't animate it.
The soundtrack is great. One of the
Yeah,
composers is
it's
one of my
alright.
favorite.
Yeah.
The opening. The soundtrack composer.
Yeah.
Same as the Sword Art Online
Okay,
one. So if you
okay.
like that soundtrack, it's pretty good.
I don't
But they also
remember
did the soundtrack for my favorite anime.
Okay.
So I'm quite fond of them as a composer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that anime was terrible.
anime was not
Yeah.
great. I didn't like it.
No.
I didn't like it
No.
either. But
Even though it's a
hey,
great manga.
great manga. Should I finish it? Is it worth it?
The manga? Yeah.
Okay. I'll go to my local library where it's actually available.
Because the art style's really nice. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I think back in the day, I was excited because there was like 2 copies, like the first 2 volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all I had. But I was ecstatic. I should probably just get my old manga collections, donate it to my school library that I grew up in, because every time they brought something out that was
Yeah.
somewhat comic bookish, I was like over that like a rabid hound on a fresh piece of food.
So you also spent lots of time in the library?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was a library kid. Look, if you weren't a library kid in school, you're probably too cool.
I was a library monitor.
You were a monitor? You're a monitor?
Yeah.
That's
I
like.
told you Hermione Granger was like my
Your
ultimate idol.
How about now? Is she still one of your like? You
No,
know,
I don't consume anything from the Harry
no.
Potter
How
universe
about Emma?
anymore.
How about Emma Watson as an
She's
individual?
good. She's
an
great.
amazing
Yeah,
person.
she's
I
very
like her.
good. Mm-hmm.
Wait, Spider Stories. Oh yeah. So Vampire Night, doing that tattoo in the bathroom, and
gosh.
this is me being stupid. Being stupid. It's like, how do you get a tattoo off your skin? I was using nail polish remover on my skin. Terrible idea.
Ow.
Do not do it. Do not do it. It burns. It burns.
Acetone.
Acetone. Not good. Not good. Not good. My skin's not good in general.
No.
But in my like early 20s, it was
Yeah.
like, hey, I can take a few more risks
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was doing pretty well at that point in time. Now that I'm in my 30-somethings, I have to take care of my body a bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously better. I'm just healthier in general. Anyway, that bathroom was like, let's style this wig today. There are little spiders, like little ones, baby ones,
Yeah.
everywhere.
What do you mean everywhere?
Like on the roof, on the walls,
Why?
in the bathtub.
Why?
There was likely, like, so this happened once every summer, every second summer. Likely they laid a nest somewhere of eggs and they hatched. It's obviously a very humid environment from hot showers and whatnot. And so I was like, I walked in one day and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing a wig today.
No.
Walk straight out, you get the can of Mortine, you just gas it. You go, you just gas the whole thing. And it's like, yep, or you take the toothbrushes out. of the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah.
I'm like, Mum, Dad, I'm using like the kitchen sink to brush my teeth today. And that was it. So you come back in the next day, and then there's very high concentration of baby spiders, dead on the floor.
That's awful.
That was living out a little bit further from the city. So,
That's terrifying. I don't
Australia.
like that story.
well, did you know? I don't know. It cannot confirm or deny. But if you have a house, do you see many cockroaches in your house,
Yes.
or do you see more spiders in your house?
More cockroaches.
Usually, it's a war.
Huh?
Usually, it's a war
War?
because
Between cockroaches and
well,
spiders?
the spiders eat cockroaches.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've got a lot of spiders, you generally won't have cockroaches.
Okay.
But if you have cockroaches, it usually means you're not going to have any spiders in your
Yeah.
house. Which, if you're an arachnophobe,
We have cane toads.
in your house,
In my roommate's bathroom.
what is going on?
In the cupboard.
Why? How?
Don't know. I live like near like a swampish kind of area, mudland.
Yeah, I know the area you live
Yeah,
in.
so
I get that there might be cane toads in the yard. How do they get in the house?
we have dog door.
Oh,
We
do
have
they
dog
just-
door. I think they like.
They just hop through. It's like, hey,
see the dog
here's
door,
the dog
they're
door.
like,
Just like,
"Yahoo!"
just yeet through it.
Yep. Australian wildlife. At least it's not a snake.
Hey, look. For the most,
Knock on
not
wood.
wood. For the most part, I'm glad that we live in a country in which the predators
Oh, like this big.
are like, well, the predators are like dingoes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But they're not like big bears or
No.
lions
No.
or tigers or jaguars, which would be like, hey, you can't even see them, but you're maybe a drop bear, right? That's the worst we've got.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything which we go into the bush. You'd probably be more worried about
People.
a snake
Other
or a
people.
spider or
Yeah,
people. People.
Yeah, other people.
But
Absolutely.
our wildlife are the best. People are like, oh, but you got like sharks and snakes and spiders.
Yeah. I feel like Australia's wildlife has a marketing problem.
We
We
do.
need to fix it.
Hey, but people still come and
Run
visit
a
us
campaign.
anyway.
Yeah, so many people know about quokkas. They're like, I want to go to Australia just to meet a
Quokka.
quokka.
So you can either go to Rottnest Island or you can actually go up
Go
to a
up
zoo.
Yep.
There's a
to
zoo on the
Queensland
Sunshine
Zoo.
Coast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's not Australia Zoo actually.
No.
It's a smaller
Well,
zoo
Currumbin?
next to
No, wildlife.
next to the big pineapple, which is now
No.
not. Oh, You just type in Big Pineapple. It's some place on the Sunshine Coast. There's a little zoo next to it. Very cool. They got quokkas. The Big Pineapple. I've got a photo there as a kid, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little like this. I was wearing a hoodie like this. Maybe had a koala picture or something on it, but that was that was memory as a kid. Before I got into cosplay, my life changed.
For the better.
Let's say for the better.
Yeah.
Let's say, because the people's like, oh, what would my life have been? I don't know. I don't know what my life would have been, but there's no point worrying about it because I'm here where I am now. And is life good? Life's pretty good.
Life's great.
Life's great.
We're going to Japan.
We are going to Japan. Would you say it's as good as it was in 2014 to 2018?
You win.
No, look, it's not about winning or
win.
losing because it's a different experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you might very much say, it's like, yeah, look, life was good then because I had a close circle of friends.
I was living at home.
You're living at home, didn't have to worry about rent or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
you maybe, I don't know, you had like good relationships with people around me, or safe and stable. And maybe now it's like, well, crap. You know, I've got bills to worry about. I've got that circle that I used to talk to probably doesn't exist anymore, but you've got, different circle of friends. You might be like, look, less.
At least I have you.
Oh, look, we're good friends. We've got close friends. It really becomes, honestly, later, like a quantity over quality thing. Sorry. Whoops! Let me scratch that from the record. I meant quality
You heard it here, folks.
over quantity.
Quantity
No.
over quality.
You're hearing nothing of value here.
Golden era.
The golden era.
Jeremy Cosplay.
She's
time.
talking nothing sensical. She's talking nonsensical.
Sensical.
Nonsensical.
All right, Jeremy.
Nonsensical.
Alrighty.
Look,
I
quality.
see how it is.
Quality
Quality
over
quantity.
quantity.
Yay.
Yeah. Again,
Not balance,
hey, balance is a good thing,
but it's quality over quantity.
Put it this
That's
way.
a pretty uneven scale. It's
well, I would
over.
100% go quality over quantity
Yeah.
because at the early, you're like, yeah, let's go make lots of friends. Let's go put myself out there. I want to be known as that person.
Enter every comp.
Enter every comp. Be friends with everybody.
Yes.
You know, make sure that I'm that person that everyone likes, but I don't have anyone I'm really close to. That I can call up on a day off, be like, yo, what's up? You want to hang out?
Yeah.
Let's go watch the Puss in Boots movie.
Yeah,
like,
go watch it. It's really
great
good.
movie. That's what you figure out later when you're like, hey, I do have bills to pay. I do
Yeah.
have that corporate ladder to climb.
Yeah. Oh,
You don't
yeah.
have
Climb.
time to spend time with every single person you come across or make a good impression. So, yeah, look, at some stage, you might be like, I got to compare myself to old mate from Canada and Jenny down the road, and I feel bad about myself. That's a natural thing
It is
to happen.
It is. Just as long as you're conscious of it when it's happening, and
happening.
then take action immediately.
Well, you might think to yourself, like, this is normal. Like, at some point in time,
Yeah.
it is a normal thing.
Yeah.
But
But
it's also a normal thing to think to yourself, hey, I don't feel good about this. What can I do about it?
exactly.
And that's where you go. You come and talk to someone who's either, you look up to, or someone who you do kind of respect, like Marmalade Cos, for their expert level, I don't know, sewing and interpretations of.
I don't even know how to make a rolled ham on chiffon, so...
Hey, look, we're learning. I barely know. I know what chiffon is. It's like, I don't know
Okay.
what chiffon is. I do.
Okay.
But when it gets to that stage, you start to take action. So when it comes to, like, these days, I think it's good because you do have a choice. I think choice. To me, choice. Choice is the key word and the key theme that I'm going to put out
But
there.
to me, I think choice becomes very easily a slippery slope into paralysis from analysis.
Analysis paralysis.
Yes, because you spend so much time being like, gee, I wonder which drink I will choose today because there are so many options. I think decision making becomes something that we need to all get better at.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard in a world of choice, to make decisions.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think having good decision making gets easier
Yeah, with time.
with time, and
Age,
the more
experience.
mistakes you make.
Yes.
Like, we're all going to stuff up.
Yeah.
We're all going to stuff up. But that doesn't mean, like, it gets more difficult. It should, if you're learning, actively learning.
I think it's important to know that a mistake is not a failure. You only fail when you give up, when you completely stop trying.
Record that. We're going to
I
record
did
that.
record that.
Exactly. I mean, note that. Marmalade 2023, it's not a mistake to fail.
No.
You only
I
fail
messed it up.
when you stop trying to get better. Is that what it was?
A mistake is not a failure.
A mistake is not a failure.
You only fail when you give up
You only
completely
fail when
and
you give up
stop
completely
trying.
and you stop trying.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
That's the only real mistake
It's
you
the
can
only
make.
real failing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a hard one is being able to acknowledge that. Because along with
Absolutely.
wanting to protect this online persona, is this...
Or not even, just your reputation in the community.
Yo, well, in the what's the word? The pursuit of trying to appear like the perfect person.
Yeah.
Or the person who knows what they're doing all the time or doesn't make mistakes. Do you have a cramp in
My
your leg?
foot started cramping.
What are you doing?
Gosh, my foot cramp. Ow.
It must be the coconut. Guys, don't drink coconut jelly, drink out of a can.
No.
But yeah, I think in terms of wanting to protect that persona, you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to look like this person who's like, oh, I made a bad decision. Like, we're all going to make a bad decision. We're all going to get ousted. You're going to have some social media calamity happen to you at one point in your life. It's going to happen.
It will probably happen.
And it's not about like, oh, try to deflect it or pretend it never happened. You do your best to respond to it.
And stay calm and don't react. I feel like we're on a tangent now.
Oh, that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of a podcast. We just go on tangents every single time.
Yeah.
Actually, good point to make that. I had a mate who had a chat to me recently. He put out something on their Instagram where I was like, oh, buddy, that's a bit... It was not humble. It felt very like, oh, I'm the best. Or like, am I the best? I don't know. It was like, oh... It didn't feel...
Like self-doubt? Like insecurity or what?
It projected an insecurity, which made them feel... It's like, oh, am I the best? I don't know. Wanting validation. Yeah. So I messaged them, like, I don't know about that, fam. And then we had a big chat about it too. It was like, you're kind of rising on the edge about it. And they were feeling not great about what was going on with them because there were people around him who think, oh, you're not good enough to teach cosplay to someone younger. And I was like, bro, it doesn't matter about the numbers. It doesn't matter, if Jenny down the block doesn't think that I'm a good cosplayer. Yeah. Because the fact is I guess a good example I gave was like, hey, look, doesn't matter if I'm level 50 in cosplay and you're level 10. The fact is, the people you're trying to teach is level 1, and you can still teach them something. And that being said, I can still learn something from a level 10 person. There's always something to learn, and you're never going to be, above someone. You just know more things, you put them in your arsenal, and you share them to the world. Which is where I go with this aspect of, now that we're in an era where it's the best era of cosplay, the amount of knowledge out there is way more than back in 2009 when I asked someone how to do something and they told me it was a secret. Yeah. And that changed my life forever. Same thing was like, yeah, hey, you're my idol. Let's have a chat. It's like, nah, your corset needs boning. Yeah. I'm not going to talk to you because that corset's not good enough. Yeah. Don't be that person. No. Which is what we're going to talk about in the next podcasts. Yeah. Toxicity.
Red flags.
Red flags. What to watch out for. How not to be one of those people that you don't want to be.
Exactly.
Now, we're actually going to wrap this one up. I'm getting really hungry.
I can't wait to go get a palmy. Or burger.
So she gets mad discounts at the pubs. I don't know why. It's just part of her job discount. Where it's like, yo, go to a pub.
I only take jobs where there's a mad discount involved.
I get no discounts. Yeah. I do get pretty good...
health benefits. Healthcare.
Actually, because...
that's pretty important.
I went to go see a new doctor. Yeah. It's a guy I used to work with, and he bulk billed me.
Hell yeah.
Did bulk bill me? It's like,
Is that not normal?
Okay. Oh, I don't know if you know the current state of doctors in Australia.
I think I do. I just feel like I've gotten lucky to find a bulk billing clinic where I can always go.
Well, my
bulk bill.
Well, TLDR for doctors in Australia. We've got a doctor shortage. No one wants to be a GP, so they're finding it very hard to.
Isn't it because the government cut funding to Medicare, so they can't cover as much?
Correct.
Of the Medicare levy,
yeah. So basically, I don't know, a doctor needs to make this much per patient just to keep that clinic open. So they have to charge a fee, right? And the only ones who don't charge fees typically, I've been with this doctor for 20 years. Yeah. Well, my family doctor's basically retired. It takes me 2 weeks to see him because he only works like 3 days a week. So I'm like, oh, okay. So like, all right, so I find a new doctor eventually, and it's a doctor I used to work with. And he was like, yo, I haven't seen you in ages. Had a nice chat and bulk billed. I'm like, cool.
That's
nice.
So good.
It was cool. So nice guy.
Win.
It's a win.
Heck yeah. So, something to be grateful for today.
Something to be grateful for. He's a lovely person. But, gosh. Anyway, okay, let's wrap this one up in particular. Okay. This is about, is this the best aged cosplay? I say yes. She says no. Who do you think's right?
I changed my mind. I believe that you probably had better points than I did.
No, this isn't about who's right or wrong. It's just like, oh, look, this is what I believe. Yeah. If I've managed to persuade you, good. Yeah. But comment what you think. Do you think you're enjoying cosplay now?
Did we change your mind?
Did we change your mind? Do you reckon cosplay was better in the golden age, 2014 to 18? Was it better? You tell us. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's an overwhelming majority of people who tell me, it's like, no, Jeremy, you're blinded, dude. you're seeing rose-colored glasses. You're just lying to yourself. It could be.
It's optimism.
It could be.
It's
It
good.
is
It's
optimism,
good.
but that's how I say things.
Let's wrap this.
Let's wrap it up. I'm getting hungry. My stomach is talking louder than me and the microphone.
Yeah.
So
Make sure you hit the subscribe and follow button. Leave us a
please leave us a
rating
comment.
review on Spotify.
Do
It
it.
helps push the podcast into the algorithm to all the other people who use Spotify.
Sounds good. Let's do it. We'll see you next week about toxicity. It's going to be a good one. Don't miss it. But
Bye bye.
see ya. Love you. Bye.